every day, one by one, I'm gonna try every recipe of Laura, starting from the very beginning. Come, join me on my challenge. Let's go! Hi everyone! My name is Ruta and welcome to the 218th day of my challenge where, oh my god, such a cute thing happened to me recently. So I was sitting at home one day and I received a really weird call from my friend's dad. He was like, "Are you at home? I will quickly stop by because I saw something, I bought it and thinking of you and I want to bring it to you." And I'm like, "What?" So I'm sitting there and here he comes, this sweet man with a huge beautiful pumpkin in his hands. And I was like, you know those moments when you look at someone and you feel just, oh my god, they like completely get me, like they know me so well. I've been complaining to them apparently quite a lot, or maybe not, maybe they just remembered from those, I don't even know how many times I mentioned, to be honest. So I mentioned to them that I cannot find pumpkin. I was searching for canned pumpkin puree, I couldn't find it. Then I went on a quest of searching for a real fresh pumpkin, which I couldn't really find. So I guess I complained to them. Well, clearly I did, because he totally was going back from work and on the road he saw a pumpkin, he thought of me, he stopped, bought it and brought it to me. Like, how cute is that? Like, I love my friend's dad so much for this. Like, he's so cute. Oh my god. So I made my own homemade pumpkin puree, which if you're interested in, I will leave the link in the description box down below, because I'm sure I'm not the only one who cannot truly find it. And there are a lot of pumpkin themed recipes on Laura in the Kitchen, which I was actually skipping for the longest time. So this recipe, today's recipe, pumpkin cupcakes, is actually one of those skipped ones just because I couldn't find any pumpkin puree. So that pumpkin puree is covered, and the last thing I wanted to mention before moving into the ingredients is the pumpkin pie spice, which again, I'm pretty sure that my friends outside America have the same trouble as I do, that is, cannot really find this pumpkin pie spice. So before I realized that there is a pumpkin pie spice blend on Laura in the Kitchen, which is quite hidden actually, I was using another one. So as I already have a mix, which is Laura's mix this time, I will use already from that mix. I will not show how to make it, but if you're interested, I will leave in the description box 2 links to 2 different kinds of, well, very similar, of pumpkin pie spice. That's everything. Let's go over the ingredients and let's get started. We're gonna need 140 grams of flour, 200 grams of sugar, 200 grams of pumpkin puree, 1/3 of a cup of vegetable oil, 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Before I start with the batter, I always like to all the preparations ahead of time. So the only one in this recipe, and I feel like this is not the cleanest, but well, I will line it with liners now. And now we'll work on the wet batter. So I'm gonna take pumpkin puree, sugar, which always sneaks in with the wet ingredients, the vegetable oil, vanilla extract, eggs, and just mix everything to combine. In this recipe, Laura actually uses handheld mixer for mixing stuff, but as I am gonna use it today, and I am a little bit lazy to wash it in between the usage, I mean the attachments, I figured there's nothing a whisk wouldn't be able to do, right? So mix, mix, mix. And now I will add in the dry ingredients. the flour and all the spices. What did we have here? Pumpkin pie spice, baking soda, baking powder, and the salt. And whenever you're making cupcakes or muffins, you want to mix the dry, once you add the dry ingredients, you want to mix only until it combines. Like you might even see some lumps, but that's all you want to do. In such a way, your cupcakes and muffins will turn out super moist and light and fluffy. That's it. You see? You can literally see like the lumps there. At this point, I went ahead. Can you hear the ticking noise? That's the oven preheating to 180 degrees because the only thing left to do for me is to divide this batter among the liners. And actually, I just wanted to quickly mention, if you like making cookies, cupcakes, muffins, and whatnot, and if you don't have an ice cream scoop, or for that matter, different sizes of ice cream scoop, I highly suggest you get one or a couple different sizes because, oh my god, this makes everything so much quicker, so much easier. And if you're like me and cannot really eyeball stuff really nicely, this is a savior. This is a great thing. Great job there at making a mess. Okay, now this goes into the oven for 20 minutes. So 2 toothpicks, as always, told the truth, which is that the cupcakes are ready. You want to take a toothpick, just insert in the middle of the biggest muffin and see if there's any batter on it. I always use 2 because, I don't know, I feel like it's safer. So if you don't see any batter, it means they're done. So now I will let them cool down completely. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and make some cream cheese frosting to frost them later. And that will be the recipe which will go before this. Oh my goodness, you will have seen it already. Don't you just love YouTube magic? Cupcakes are completely cooled down, and trust me when I tell you, it's not an easy job to just sit and wait with all these smells at home for them to cool down without eating one. Man, I'm like patting myself on the back. There's no other way, I deserve it. So this is what I did in the meantime while they were cooling down. This is classic cream cheese frosting, which I was keeping in the fridge. And if you're interested in how to make it, I will leave the link in the description box down below. It's actually the previous recipe I tried. Well, it will be. This is kind of in the middle, but oh well. So I have a piping bag here. If you don't have one, or if you're not very keen on like washing them, or if you have a really nice like metal big star tip, then you can use Ziploc bag and just add it to one of the corners, snip the corner, one of the corners, and put the tip in. I do kind of remember that it didn't really work with this particular frosting for me, just because this is like a cheap version of a piping bag and it wasn't holding, it was going all over the place because this is quite a thick frosting. So now the only thing for me left to do until I can actually enjoy a bite of it is to fill the piping bag with the frosting and then just frost each cupcake in the center with it. I feel like I could have let it stay in the fridge a bit longer, but anyways, I will keep them in the fridge so the frosting will set a little bit more. So let's see how that goes. You want to start somewhere here and just like work like so. Oh my god, this is so cute. Okay, which one? This one is the messiest one. I'm gonna remove the evidence by trying it, and then I actually have an idea, but I will share it only after I try it because there's just no other way. Oh my god, this will be so good. It's so moist. It makes my mouth moist. Okay, now let's embarrass ourselves with the whole face of cream cheese. Oh my god. This is so good. So good. Don't mind me. This is so good. If I don't put it, I'm embarrassed to say, I will finish it. Okay, I do want to share some thoughts very quickly though, because they will finalize in a form of experiment which I will take further. I'm thinking, and this will be related not to the cupcakes, which are just perfect, 10 out of 10. It's like nothing else to say. If you like pumpkin themed things, if you like good, moist, fluffy cupcakes, you have to try them. And that's everything I'm gonna say about the cupcakes. And now I will talk a little bit about the frosting. I don't really like how runny it is. Like, I let it wait in the fridge for 1 hour and I thought, you know, this time will be different from all the others. Oh my goodness, it will rain. So, it didn't happen. I'm thinking two possible explanations. One, I kept it in the fridge too little. So what I'm thinking, I will actually remove the frosting back here. I will keep it probably overnight because it's almost like dinner time and I do have to run. So I will keep it probably overnight and then I will frost them again tomorrow, and then we'll see whether this was because of just not, you know, setting enough, or if 2 tablespoons of milk, I'm thinking, is a bit too much, because I couldn't really tell while looking at Laura's video whether she used 1 or 2 tablespoons. Sometimes her written recipes don't really look the same like the videos, so that also might be the problem. So if tomorrow the frosting is as runny, we will know we should use 1 tablespoon of milk. That's it. I will now, after I end all of this, insert the clips from tomorrow's experimenting, and we will see how it turns out. I really hope that this was fun and helpful. If you want, go and check the original recipe by Laura there. The written one, as always, is in the description box down below. I really hope that you had fun. I have to run. This tastes so good. Like, I can taste it in my mouth, and the only thing you want to do when you have this taste in your mouth is just like keep on eating. So thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you soon. Bye.